Welcome to Real Flix Reviews. We're like a book club for people hate reading. This month's theme is the 1970s, so I picked the movie Andromeda Strain, made in 1971. And we bring you movie news at the end of the program. This week we have Jonathan Charney, James Stevens,
Meow.
Ryan Preston, and Rob Charney.
Hey, old guys here.
So, who has a description of this month's?
Well, since I have it on my handy-dandy phone here, I'll read the description of the Andromeda strain. A group of scientists investigates a deadly new alien virus before it can spread. That's it.
So, IMDb does it again.
Yep.
Succinct and confusing.
Right to the point.
2 hours and 11 minutes of that.
Yep.
So who wants to go first?
You know, I'm going to jump in first on this one. I might as well.
Okay,
This should
go
be
ahead.
interesting.
Go for it.
You know, the first thing I got to say about this movie is slow. What a slow burn.
I actually didn't think it was that slow.
No, I thought it was really slow of a burn.
I don't think you watched any of it.
Yeah, I don't
did
think
you?
I did either.
The 1970s one, right?
Yeah, that's
2008 version. Yeah.
I actually didn't think it was that slow considering other movies I've actually watched recently.
But
Like
one of the
compared
things...
to 2001, maybe, or what?
But one of the things I really enjoyed about this movie is the banter between Kate Reid and James Olsen mostly on the trip to the military installation.
Yes, one of my favorite lines is in
And
that.
throughout the whole time when they're getting ready to enter the installation, which was another 45 minutes of the movie, and
Yeah.
where they had to be clean, sterilized, go through this weird bath stuff, and then get sprayed down, and then
They got to get their hair burnt
probed,
off.
and yeah.
But the hair on your face didn't count.
Yeah.
They were cleaned inside, outside, rectally.
Yeah. But you know like I said, John, in that banter it's really great because in that section right where she lights up a cigarette and he goes, enjoy it because that's going to be your last one, and then maybe a couple seconds after that she actually gets a glimpse of the military installation. He goes, this looks like a great place to grow pot. Just like, wow, that's
I love
a random thing to say about a military installation.
I love the line before that when it makes the comments like, "Oh, nobody goes out here." It's like, of course, they spent $50,000 making sure it looked that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was a great thing because that helped the movie a lot. If they didn't have good dialogue and good writers in between there, this movie would have been a lot worse.
I think it carried most of the movie.
You had to.
Yeah, it had to. There was a lot of things to carry in that movie. But, I really thought the plot was just thin. I really did. I didn't think there was much to it. Just like Rob in his description, there was a sentence to describe this entire movie.
Pretty much.
And that really kind of covers it. It's such a thin plot for 2 hours and 11 minutes.
It's almost like they had, here's the beginning and here's the end, and somehow fill the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it was very lacking in that. I did kind of find it fun to look at the old technology they had.
Yeah.
That was a good...
Their version of state of the art.
Yeah, a good thing to bring it back to, and it was pretty cool to see kind of the big old push buttons of everything, and I thought some of the old printer machines were really cool.
Teletypes.
Yes, thank you. I couldn't think of the name of them.
That was my
Those
favorite.
were cool to see again.
That was the one of the weird parts is, they were talking about, it's something that had a problem, and there was a piece of paper stuck between it.
Yeah.
A bell. It was the bell.
It was the bell.
Yeah.
We didn't look unless we heard the bell.
Exactly.
Well,
So
these
there
guys are
was
brain
some
surgeons
interesting
right
things that were going on with that. I don't know. I want to pass it off to somebody else because that's really what I had.
go.
There's a couple other things, but nothing of major.
I'll go. The first thing I noticed, there were some really strange cuts, or the way this movie was put together. One was when they're in the town itself, and they're looking through the windows, and it showed one frame was a guy looking in the windows, the next frame was the body.
Yeah. That was kind of cool to see, actually. I kind of enjoyed
It was a
that.
little Oliver Stone-ish to me.
And then all of a sudden you see tits of a dead lady.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa,
Yeah.
hey, we're
Very
really?
Stanley
Best
Kubrick.
part of the movie.
I actually
Only redeeming assets.
I liked it, but I just thought it was
Wait,
really
like
weird.
the lady's tits?
Well, I actually thought those cuts were just. I actually thought they were kind of out of place for the feel of the movie. The other one was a dream
You
sequences.
talking about the editing?
Yeah, the way
Oh, okay.
they were.
right.
that the way they were cut in those boxes, the
Thank you
dream
for clarifying,
sequence,
Yeah, just making sure.
the dream sequence when dreaming on level 4 of the wildfire and all that.
Yeah, okay.
And the other one was the scene where they were trying to find how the bug got into the person. I like it, but
and to go back to that point, they must have had a really pissed off baby by the time this movie was
Right?
over. I mean,
No kidding.
because that was a real baby screaming. And
Yeah, it was.
that poor kid.
Realistically, it was probably like 6 babies.
Yeah.
oh, did you
But,
read how?
I mean,
the,
seriously,
Well, that was probably the
kid
time
pissed.
where they could work a baby for 8 hours a day. They didn't
Yeah,
give
they
a
can't
damn.
do that
Right,
nowadays.
yeah.
did you read what they did to the monkey?
No, I didn't.
They actually knocked it out unconscious. Used like CO2 or CO2 or something. They
Yeah,
did
it
that.
looked like they suffocated that monkey.
Yeah, they
Oh, yeah.
suffocated it, and they had somebody come back alive going,
Yeah, things you couldn't get away
This
with
is
it
before
nowadays.
PETA came along, you know.
Right.
Well, PETA was around, but
Ruined
they were just
everything.
bombing things.
Yeah.
and I still,
Troopers.
I still don't believe literally half this movie is them driving to the facility and going down it. I mean,
Yeah.
like you were saying, that is literally probably a third, if not a half
Yeah,
of the
it's
movie.
probably like half an hour to 45 minutes of that movie.
And that's probably the most expensive part of it too, because they
Oh,
had
yeah.
all the different colored elevators and, you know. The other
They
one,
let Timothy Leary take over for those sections.
the other
Well,
part,
and then they also let him direct all the kaleidoscope scenes.
Yeah.
the other part was the organism. I don't know how they actually did it, but how they made it, like the one scene where it was pulsing. Some
Oh,
of the
yeah.
effects in this movie were very well done for the time.
Yeah.
I read somewhere like the organism cost like $250,000 to actually make, and it was just a really small section of the film. The other part, the only part that I thought was weird, it was what was out of order is when you heard via narration that the teletype machines weren't working, and then a couple of scenes after that, then they explained it on why.
Yeah.
That was the only part
Okay.
to me that really didn't seem like it fit the continuity of the movie.
I got you. Yeah.
I actually, it was just, I just thought that the feel of the movie, I actually didn't think it was that slow, but I can definitely see that the pacing was
Yeah.
very,
The pacing was strange.
it was pretty much the same
Was
pacing
slow.
through the whole movie.
Yeah, it was a slow draw of the movie. I was really impressed by how much quiet was in between each section. There was a
Yeah.
lot of lack of dialogue for a lot of sections in this movie.
The only other part that I thought was funny is when they had like the dead man key, the single, what is it, the single guy key,
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
they call
yeah,
it.
right.
And they said, well, there's only three of these things on each floor, but we're trying to put in a couple of more, and the guy walks past it going, I hope I don't go to this section.
I just love that when shit goes wrong, they seal them off. So where,
Yeah.
I hope you're in the room with the console in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no joke.
We're not smart enough to
not,
figure
yeah.
out to put a console where you're going to be, but we'll design everything else to make sure it
Yeah.
works, right?
And like they said, what was it? You can get there in 3 minutes or something like that. When he's like, 5-minute countdown.
Well, I like the laser going through his cheek too. That was pretty cute.
Oh, yeah, that was it, It
And
caused him all these
And then he's like, "Get
problems.
up, get up, get up! What's wrong with you? I just got shot through the cheek with a
Yeah.
laser.
And it was, it had the.
You want to be next?
Being drugged from this gas coming up from the floor.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
you're
what,
fine. Get up, wuss."
they were so far ahead of the time, it was a green laser.
It was.
It was not heard of such a thing as a green laser at that
No.
particular time.
Yeah.
So somebody was up on that part.
Or they just kind of wagged it and just,
Let's
getting
use a
credit for it
green
later.
light.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a green light.
Well, after spending $1 million on the set, that's probably all they could afford.
That was quite a set.
So who's next?
I'll do it. I'll let Ryan be last.
Oh, wow, he volunteered that for that awfully
I'll do it
fast.
because you guys said it all.
Well, he doesn't look like he's fully here yet.
Well, I saw the movie in the theater when it came out.
Did you ask for your money back?
So your question is, it ought to be, did you remember any of it? Hell no, I didn't remember any of
That
it.
was
It's not a rememberable
years ago.
movie. I mean,
It
come on.
was not a memorable movie.
It's not.
That I agree with.
Okay, it was anything but.
Wait, you don't remember this, but you remember 200001.
Yeah, I do.
That's a
remember
movie I
that.
keep telling us.
2001 is a.
Ah,
I
it's
keep
a
falling
classic.
asleep
Don't
on.
put the two in the same category. They just weren't there.
Yeah,
I-
Ebert.
Yeah. Yeah. 1947 Duesenberg on acid. Anyway.
I compared it to 2001 in the beginning of his paragraph.
You talked about the silence between the scenes. It's because the tight shots with the eyes, it's always the eyes.
Well, that was something they did at that time. They try to get them to be expressive with their body, their face, and their eyes.
Yeah, right. The emote. And actually, that's a technique that was used in silent film era.
It was.
So, again, every now and then a director says, hey, we're going to try something that was done 30 years ago. Let's try it again. Didn't work then, isn't working now. Not for me, anyway. I can tell you that. I was impressed with the graphics at the time. Some of it was pretty neat. You saw, the way they did the graphics, and they showed all the floors, and the way they did all of that was neat. But some of the decontamination scenes were just ridiculous. I mean,
did it seem kind of state of the art at the time?
No, I don't even think at the time that stupid helmet they put on their head so that their hair and eyelashes wouldn't be burnt off. Somehow
Diamond helmet.
Yeah, that helmet.
That totally
the diamond helmet, whatever the heck.
I totally thought that should have been in Clockwork Orange when I first saw that. And I was like,
totally,
wait a minute. Is this
I
from
kind of
another
thought
movie?
the same thing during that scene.
It was totally hokey as hell, because, of course your
A little
head,
Ludwig von.
your mouth, your head, your face won't carry any germs. Right? Okay, so we got that straight now. And then, of course, at the end, they all get to have an enema. Hey, what a touch, huh? That's a great way of putting an end to it. So, I like that. For me,
It's a low blow.
yeah, ha, 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 ha. The movie was boring as hell. With touches of, well, it's kind of interesting they did that at time. Like you said, some of the technology of the old technology for that particular time in 1971. Having played with computers in 1971, it was pretty cool stuff they had there. The little green monitors doing their little things, and then their ability to slice the gene, basically, of the Andromeda at that time. I wasn't sure they even knew how to do that, so that was pretty cool.
If they knew what a gene was.
Yeah, if they knew what a gene was or whatever it was, but a life form that had no life, right? They were sitting there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
crystal based, yeah.
Anyway, that was kind of
Spoiler.
interesting, but anyway, for me it was just snoozeville.
I do have a question though for everybody. Anybody else notice there was no character development in this entire movie?
Yeah.
Like you
there
literally
was.
they really
Of the strain.
Yeah, that's it. Because they introduced all the characters, they gave like this, they threw up all this backstory, and boom, the characters literally stayed the same through the entire movies.
I like the doctor, the lady. Now, in today's world, you'd never have a woman that looked that ugly in a movie.
Kathy Bates.
And of course she's epileptic, and so any flashing red light would make her go convulse. Come on. I'm sorry. Sorry.
I got you.
Doesn't make it for me.
See that the one scene in the one scene where they had where it showed there was no growth and it was flashing, it really didn't make any sense. Like even when when it was flashing, when she was looking like she was going to have like an epileptic seizure.
It stopped before she got to that point.
Well, no, because it was flashing in her eyes, and you see her eyes get big, like she was having. They didn't even explain it, and it didn't even make any sense, even when the guy explained it, because it's a little tiny light, and I just thought that part was a really weak part of the story.
I'm
They
not an
made it seem
epileptic.
like
I
it
don't
was
know
a
if it
very
worked.
specific interval between the flashes that made it go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, it seemed a very, very like. It almost seemed like they needed something to make the movie longer.
Well, and the other stuff that I really loved was the random so-called scientific talk in the background that would just appear, H12C on 5543, what?
Constantly.
I
through
mean,
the whole
it was
damn
always
film.
going, and this, God. So this is what the future's supposed to be?
See,
It's
I
supposed
always
to be
wanted.
very technical.
Yeah.
I was always hoping one of the doctors would make a comment, say, "So, are they ever shut up?" Just something like they should have said something like that.
Yeah, can you turn that idiot off? He doesn't know what he's
Shut
talking about.
the hell up.
And the liquid meals.
Liquid
Oh,
meals,
yeah.
that was good. So
Kinda
anyway,
reminds me of what they did in the Matrix with the slop.
Oh,
yeah.
this tastes like chicken. So
Tastes
Ryan,
sweet.
your turn.
Okay. Well, shoot, we covered most of it. This part is slow as shit.
Yeah.
for what seemed like it turned into like a character study, there was no character development. Everybody was pretty much one-dimensional except for the
I disagree.
Andromeda
The strain was the only character development of the whole
the only
movie.
thing that had any kind of development.
Yeah.
And that's just because it got a name eventually.
Yeah. And it pulsed and grew.
It's somehow that teletype machine was making noises.
I wondered if Michael Crichton wanted his money back.
I sure hope he did.
The one thing that that did keep me sort of in the story was the lady scientist actually looked like a lady scientist.
You mean the
Which,
smoking?
like Rob pointed out, we're not going to ever see that again. It's always going to be Denise Richards playing a nuclear physicist.
That's right.
Wait. You mean Christmas Jones?
Exactly.
The worst Bond name ever.
Yeah. Well, arguably the worst Bond movie ever. But that's another story.
Yeah.
That's another movie.
Yeah. Moving along.
Story though, there really, like James said, was not much story to speak of. They really tried to bleed a pretty thin premise to death. Parts of it were interesting because, of the type of writing. It was kind of a little, science jargon mixed with a little witty banter from the woman.
It was the angry woman, don't forget.
Yeah,
I like the angry woman.
Oh, it's because she was kind of like the angry woman who the man has always got her down.
Well, she was angry because there was no other women around.
She was the comic relief. Leave her alone.
So she was the Kathy Bates.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, they did get a lot of use out of that set. Effects, footage, and props from the film were frequently reused in a number of Universal Studio TV shows for more than a decade after its release, including
That makes sense.
$6 Million Man, Bionic Woman, Knight Rider, and Airwolf. How about that?
No, that
They had to
makes
get their
sense.
money out of it somehow, because this movie certainly didn't do it. And
Firefly does the same thing. It reuses stuff from Starship Troopers, so
Sure. I know.
it does. So what were
Anyway.
you saying?
Didn't mean to interrupt you, Ryan.
No, it's fine.
You're talking about the angry
No, it's
scientist
fine.
that.
What an incredibly boring ass movie. It's not completely unwatchable. There was interesting parts, but it took me 2 days to watch this damn thing.
Wow.
I'm not
Well,
surprised.
two
actually.
sections. I watched it, sort of an hour and a half, and then fell asleep, and then had to run it back and find where I fell asleep at. And
I can
start
see
again.
that.
You laughed at that part of. This looks like a great place to grow pot.
Well, of course, I laughed at that.
That was great.
Oh, so how do you like the way to get to the wildfire?
Yes, easy
It totally reminds me of a scene from Get Smart. When I saw that, I was laughing pretty hard at
I
that.
can see that. I can
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah, that's good.
So
It started reminding me of the Hive from Resident Evil.
I did, actually.
Oh, that's a good one.
So-
Good comparison as well.
What would you give this movie? 'Cause I'm dying to know.
I mean, a 2, because it was probably much better received at the time, I hope. But it's not one of those things that holds up even for sort of the nostalgia sake of looking at everything running off of MS-DOS or whatever the fuck it was.
Coltrane.
Fortran.
Fortran.
There you go. Yeah. He's confused.
It seemed like the dialogue what's the word I'm looking for?
Forced?
Relied on the ignorance of the people at the time of technical jargon, etc.
And some of it I would add
Nowadays,
to really
when you watch
forced.
it seems like people are just sort of aware of too much to take it seriously at all. It seems
Yeah.
like something that Mystery Science Theater would have a field day with.
Oh, yes.
I think they did.
Or laugh tracks?
We
now?
should have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just a 2, because it was not good.
What about
No.
you, James?
Too. There is no
Wow.
question. This is just kind of what Ryan said, except for actually, you know what? Screw it. Just pretty much exactly what Ryan said. Thin plot. I covered all that stuff at the beginning of what I didn't like about the movie, and what I did like about it. The movie was the kind of witty banter between the Doctor and the other Doctor on the.
Which accounts for maybe 20 minutes of 2 hours and 11 minutes.
So there's really not much to keep me interested in this film. There really wasn't.
So, old guy?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 2 as well.
Wow.
Yeah,
Thanks for picking such a terrible movie, John.
yeah. I mean,
You're welcome.
Is this payback for Super?
Yeah.
No, I haven't
Oh,
figured out
Buffalo
what,
66.
I haven't paid him back for that yet.
Well, anyway.
So wow, I'm gonna be the odd man out. I actually give it a 3 out of 5.
What? I'm not surprised.
Wow.
I liked the movie, even though there was no plot. Some
I
of
liked the movie. There was no plot. There was no
Right.
acting. There was no.
I like bad movies too, but at least my bad movies are kind of entertaining.
See, I actually enjoy.
Tentacle porn.
That's
all I got to say.
Oh, dear God!
That's what this movie needed.
Good thing it wasn't Japanese.
Just
Then.
one little, weird doctor fantasy.
That would have really caught my interest all of a sudden. What the heck is going on?
Until your wife walked in and go, James.
Oh no, she walked out like 5 minutes into the movie.
I actually liked this movie, even though it was slow and there were definitely some problems. Some of the dialogue was awful, but overall, I thought it was entertaining. But I was also doing like 6 things at the same time. So
I was just going to ask you that. You liked the movie because you probably didn't see much of it. You were busy playing on your computer.
I really liked it. Believe it or not, I'm generally not a fan of a really slow burn movie, but I thought this was pretty good for me.
Wow, so this is a standout for the slow burns for you.
Yeah, this is the standard.
3 to 5 is I enjoyed it, but
Really?
didn't get a lot out of it.
No, we gotta
Oh,
go back.
we know
to
where
this.
that bar's set now.
Okay, now you really gotta tell me what of this movie did you enjoy? Seriously. I didn't hear anything that you enjoyed in your description.
I really enjoyed a lot of the mechanical feel of everything. Everything had a very mechanical nature. The computers,
the set.
I love the set. That made up for a lot of it. Some of the scenes, the very fake dialogue was hilarious. The scientific jargon. I thought all that was funny. It wasn't,
So, okay, the set takes up 2 points and the jargon is like another point? Is that what you're basing this off of? Is that how you get a 3?
Yeah, I can't even ironically like this movie.
I'm really trying to figure this out.
I just really liked it. But of course, so it's, odd taste, I guess.
I still like the fact that they actually almost killed the monkey.
Yeah.
I thought that was.
They really did. But
They really did.
Yeah.
Does that quantify an extra point?
I guess that's why John gave it a 3.
I can't really quantify.
They killed the monkey.
I can't really quantify why
That's a
I like this
4.
movie, but overall, the other thing I really noticed, it seemed to be a really early attempt of kind of doing like the news report, the fake documentary type of thing.
Yeah.
It was that was another thing I noticed when I was
That
watching.
found footage kind of shit.
Yeah, a very poorly done found footage, but from the 70s, not bad. And also, I'm comparing it to other movies of the decade, so.
There were some scenes in there where they're so bad that I have a really tough time believing you gave it a 3. Like the scenes with the president's advisor and the head scientist guy.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Those scenes were so bad and done so bad. That alone makes it a 2, not a 3.
See, part of it, honestly, the movie deserves a 2, but my entertainment factor, just because the fact I thought it was hilarious. Like, the scene where the president's men literally looked like it was done in a trailer. Because they had that.
It probably was.
That wood paneling from the 70s.
Yeah. Oh, it was awful.
I just love the thing of like, send the missile. No, wait, don't send the missile.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait, I had to get authorization from the president. Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
We'll cancel that. No problem.
I think the only good line in the whole movie really was the president's advisor said, "Well, I'll tell the president his first choice was the right one." The guy makes the quip, "Oh yeah, you mean all that scientific knowledge or something like that?"
Yeah. You thought that was funny?
It was right.
It was it was pretty good. I thought it was the best quip in the entire movie.
You talking down to the president?
Yeah.
What?
So for me, it's an entertainment
I
point.
understand this one, but not the one at the time.
And I get shit for Super.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
fucking baffling.
You know what? I think this one's going to take over for Super for the time being.
Thank you.
I think this is going to be the one we're going to talk crap about.
You still have Buffalo 66 though.
Hey, what did I give Super?
Shoot, for at least for a high concept movie, it paid off better.
Yeah, I mean, we have more views than anything else on that one. Now, what did I give Super?
Probably
2 as well, or 1?
Yeah, probably 2 or 1. Well, we'll have to look, ladies and gentlemen. This next section is the one.
Rated so many damn movies.
Is the one where we bring up movie news, and I have a couple of them. There's going to be a Crow remake.
Yes, I heard
reboot.
about this. I'm excited.
And Luke Evans promises the Crow reboot won't be a ripoff of the Brandon Lees. And my only question...
the main actor won't die?
It's not like it was fucking based on a book. What do you mean it won't be a ripoff? You have to rip it off.
Is that what it means?
I see. That's the only thing.
Did you hear what Rob said?
No.
He said, "Does that mean that the main actor won't die?"
You mean shoot himself? He committed suicide.
He didn't shoot himself.
He didn't
got
shoot
hit
himself.
Yeah, do your research. He got hit by a random bullet that was loaded in the gun.
It was a blank.
It was
Yeah.
a blank that
Yeah,
he
it
put
was the
close
one
to his
Beginning
temple.
When the guy had the look like a 44 Magnum pointed to his chest, had powder and the paper that was packing the blank.
Yeah, the water hit
killed
that
him.
went through him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the only thing I don't know is I don't know how you reboot the Crow, especially since there's like a 12 dozen of them. They've done all sorts of random different things with the Crow. I mean, how do you remake it?
That is a good question. I don't know. Hopefully they won't do it like City of Angels.
You know, and the expert I have on here says we just want to be as authentic and loyal to the original comic as possible. That means the story will be different. It'll be different from what people are expecting. It's a Crow. How different can you be?
That's
Is
a
my-
good question.
Is my only
That's a
question.
good question. I don't know. I'm interested to see it. I did like The Crow. I thought there was a lot of potential to it. It was very unfortunate that Brandon Lee had to die during the making of it because I really did like him. He was basically a B actor trying to move on up, and The Crow was basically his breakthrough into better movies,
Yeah.
Also,
More mainstream.
a step away from Dolph Lundgren movies.
Yeah.
I still think
So-
it's the only good Crow. It's just like
It
the
is.
Resident Evil movies.
So I hope they do a good job for it. I mean, I did like it, but I don't know. Be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah.
Is that an error on your computer, Ryan?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
And the other one is the one is
It's another one of his viruses popping up, you know.
all those porn sites. The one I don't understand. It says there's a Point Break reboot
Oh yeah, I heard.
with
Point
Gerard
Break.
Butler. The star. I guess he's going to be Johnny Utah or no. He's going to
Nah,
be.
he's too old to be Utah.
He's going to be Patrick Swayze's character. That's right. I just
Old to be Patrick Swayze's character.
Yeah. It says, according to this, the report claims that Butler's in discussion to play the adrenaline junkie bank robber Brody, the character played by Patrick Swayze in the film, which I still
God, he
think is
doesn't
too
fit
old.
that part at all.
No.
I just don't know why they want to remake that movie. I mean, I like the movie and all, but why do we need another version of it?
You know, didn't
They
I
remake Red Dawn just because the name is still
Yeah.
kind of in people's heads. It's
Hey.
a tentpole movie that they can get everybody out to. You know,
we've
But
had
then
the
it's
like the
discussion.
only thing that Hollywood wants to invest in.
But they made another B movie.
Remember a few episodes ago I discussed the fact that Hollywood has a problem coming up with original material.
I've been saying that for years.
Yeah, this is what's going on. It's just, let's just remake this movie. We'll do
Well, you
well
just talked
with
about
it, you know?
another remake right before that, The Crow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just goes to prove the point that Hollywood has ran out of ideas, and I mean nothing.
Seems to be.
Ryan and I discussed
Yeah,
this a
we
while
were.
ago that there is no real original idea. It's just a mashup of other ideas put together.
The problem is,
And you-
anytime they do a remake, they always make another B movie. Like, I guarantee, like Andromeda Strains is a B movie, maybe C level. And I guarantee the remake of it is the same thing. So remake should elevate the movie, not be a continuation of it, I think.
So has anybody watched the 2008 version?
No.
Not yet.
Gonna have to do
It's
that.
a
just to see
freaking
that.
mini series. I have no interest.
And
yeah.
and the other one is I haven't found too much information about it, is the new Tarantino script.
I'm excited for that.
That one I posted on the Real Flix Reviews Facebook page. If you want to take a look at it, and do us a favor, also tell us which movies you'd like us to review, or as a theme that you'd like us to do. Real Flix Review would be happy to do, or just tell us how much you hate us. You know, we might even read you on air and ridicule you.
I'll shoot somebody if we do a Christmas theme again.
Well, looks like next
Well,
year.
we're gonna have to wait till
thing.
Christmas.
Let's do it in July.
Christmas in Christmas
And-
in July.
And next week's is James's pick.
So we're gonna go up a year.
72.
It's a 72, and we're gonna be doing Robert Redford, Will Gear, and Jeremiah Johnson.
And
That's the name of the movie.
Jeremiah Johnson.
Yeah. And Rob
At least
doesn't
it's
look too
not
happy
Billy
about that.
Jack.
Well, because he's old enough to see the movie.
I probably won't remember this one either. I know I saw it.
You
So
probably didn't.
Ain't gonna matter.
It's gonna be funny when next week I pick a movie from 1973.
So he'll have to do 74 then.
No,
I don't even think you picked one.
Thinking of this.
I am still gonna egg you on for Dog Day Afternoon. Come on, you gotta pick it.
No, I'm gonna go
You
sort of
should
the
go
other
down the
direction.
challenge.
The problem.
I'm gonna border the
You don't
line
have to-
of taste.
You don't have to tell us.
The
but-
problem, if you're gonna give me shit for Andromeda Strain, you definitely better give him shit for Dog Day Afternoon.
Oh, dude, I would rip him a new one. I would rip him apart. I'm begging him to pick it. Pick it. Pick it. Pick
okay.
it.
So,
yeah, right.
wow. So,
Pick
geez, so it was Jeremiah Johnson, huh?
Yeah.
Jeremiah
Johnson, 1972, Robert Redford.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I gave the movie Andromeda Strain a 3 out of 5.
Don't know
James
why.
gave it a 2. Rob gave it a 2. Ryan gave it a 2. Next week's movie is Jeremiah Johnson. See you next week.
Bye.
The old guy's begging.
No. Not enough Jeremiah Johnson.
Do you remember?
At least it wasn't separate.
There's a little bit of that. I remember that I went to the movie theater and saw it.